They said no machine could ever do it, until China proved everyone wrong. Engineers there have unveiled a construction beast so advanced, it's rewriting the rules of modern engineering. It builds skyscrapers faster than humans can blink, and what it can do in just 1 hour left even Trump himself in disbelief. You're about to see the machine that's shocking the entire construction world. Stay tuned, because this invention changes everything.
Number 10. Shan-Tui DH-17 bulldozer dominating global markets. Shan-Tui started building dozers back in 1952, and by 1980 they went all in, reorganizing as a dedicated bulldozer manufacturer focused on one thing: pushing dirt better than anyone else. Fast forward to 2010, and Shan-Tui built over 10,000 bulldozers just in that year, which was 2 out of every 5 crawler-type dozers manufactured on the entire planet. Their DH-17 represents everything they learned along the way, packing decades of experience into an 18.9-ton machine that pushes 17 cubic meters of dirt with every pass. Powered by a Weichai WD-10 engine running with hydraulic components that pump out 130 kilowatts, this dozer doesn't try to break records or win engineering awards. The whole philosophy centers on reliability and cost-effectiveness, which sounds boring until you're the contractor whose Caterpillar just died in the middle of a project and replacement parts won't arrive for 2 weeks while your crew sits idle. The DH-17 uses a power shift transmission with planetary final drives that keep power flowing even when conditions get nasty, working through mud, sand, or rocky terrain without losing momentum. The hydraulics feature load-sensing technology with straightforward controls and exceptional efficiency, cutting fuel consumption by 15% compared to older systems that waste energy. Shan-Tui reinforced the chassis with a 4-wheel, 1-track system built for extended service life because they know these machines work in places where the nearest repair shop is 3 countries away. The blade moves through 4 positions for different grading jobs, while the cabin uses an integrated positive pressure design that keeps noise levels low and dust out even when sandstorms roll through desert construction sites.
Number 9. Sanyi SCC-4000A, lifting extreme weights. The SCC-4000A arrives on job sites as a beast with a lifting capacity up to 4,000 tons and a lifting moment reaching 90,000 ton-meters, which means this crawler crane can lift 2,000 tons to a height of 100 meters without breaking a sweat. This machine alone carries more than 20 patents and uses a superlift counterweight trolley with double crawlers, a walking system with 4 crawlers and 8 drives, and V-type twin lattice booms that distribute stress across the structure. The crane covers an area of 3,000 square meters with 120-meter-long twin lattice booms. So just transporting it requires 150 trailer trucks forming a convoy that stretches for miles. But here's what really stands out. The total R&D and manufacturing period was just 1 year from concept to operational machine. On July 16, 2024, the crane successfully erected the 4th propylene splitter tower of China's first integrated production line, handling work that would require multiple smaller cranes operating in risky coordination where one mistake could be catastrophic. While Western manufacturers spend years on development cycles with multiple review stages and endless testing protocols, Sanyi went from concept to operational in 12 months, demonstrating the difference between Chinese manufacturing speed and everyone else. The crane's superlift system uses movable counterweights that slide along tracks to maintain stability during lifts, automatically adjusting position as the load moves to prevent tipping. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you a naturally curious person? If you're watching, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
This space is made for people like us. To ensure you're always part of this community and receive all our latest discoveries, you just need to do one thing: subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us. Okay, now that you're part of our Legion of the Curious, let's move on to the next item. Number 8. Zhanghai Tunnel Boring Machine Conquering Underground. On April 9, 2025, China unveiled Zhanghai, a tunnel boring machine measuring 16.64 meters in maximum excavation diameter, making it China's largest TBM ever built. The machine stretches 145 meters in length and weighs 5,000 tons. Named after the Chinese words for river and ocean, because it will bore the high-Tai Yangtze River Tunnel in Jiangsu Province, creating the world's longest underwater highway tunnel. That 16.64-meter diameter equals the height of a 5- or 6-story building, which is slightly smaller than America's famous Bertha TBM that measured 17.45 meters. But here's where things get interesting. Bertha broke down repeatedly during Seattle's tunnel project, causing years of delays and massive cost overruns that turned into a political nightmare. Zhanghai was designed by Chinese engineers who studied every failure in global tunnel boring history, building redundant systems for every critical component. If one hydraulic pump fails, 3 others keep working without missing a beat. The cutter head can pulverize rock types that would jam lesser machines, designed to handle changing geology without stopping. Unlike Bertha, which required constant repairs and became a cautionary tale, Zhanghai is built to bore continuously for years through underwater conditions where access for repairs would be nearly impossible. The machine operates under massive water pressure while maintaining precise alignment, because even a small deviation at these depths could compromise the entire tunnel structure.
Number 7. The Typhoon Gantry Crane Breaking World Records. Back in April 2008, something crazy happened in Yantai that made engineers worldwide question what they thought was possible. The Typhoon Gantry crane lifted 20,133 metric tons in a single operation. That's 44,385,667 pounds hanging in the air, certified by Guinness as the heaviest crane lift ever recorded. Picture 200 fully loaded Boeing 747s stacked together, and you're getting close to understanding this monster. The crane towers 133 meters high with a 120-meter span, designed specifically to install massive integrated modules weighing up to 20,000 tons on offshore drilling vessels and FPSOs. Before Typhoon showed up, shipyards were building these structures piece by piece in 1,000 to 2,000-ton modules, taking weeks of installation work aboard vessels where everything moves slower. Typhoon flipped the game completely by letting engineers build entire deck sections on dry land, then dropping them onto the hull in one smooth move. The wire rope running through this beast measures nearly 50,000 meters. That's 31 miles of cable working through pulleys and winches. Maximum lift height reaches 80 meters, high enough to clear most offshore platform structures during installation. When Yantai Raffles Shipyard completed Typhoon's first commercial job, they lifted to 14,000-ton deck box of the ENSCO 8501 drilling semi-submersible, followed by the 17,100-ton deck box of another massive platform. This wasn't just a one-time stunt, it became the standard operating procedure. Number 6. Lugong 950E Excavator Stealing Market Share. While Caterpillar and Komatsu fight over who's king of the excavator world with expensive marketing campaigns, Lugong quietly built a machine that's stealing their lunch money through word-of-mouth recommendations. The 950E weighs 105,822 pounds and can dig 21 feet down into the earth, which means it can excavate a 2-story basement in one pass without repositioning. Under the hood sits a 400 horsepower Cummins QSG-12 engine, cranking out 2,340 Newton-meters of torque. That's 1,500 pound-feet constantly hammering away at whatever rock or frozen ground stands in its way. But any manufacturer can bolt a Cummins engine onto a steel frame and call it done. Lu Gong built this machine with high-strength tensile steel for the boom and arm, plus castings and forgings in all the high-stress areas where cheaper excavators crack and fail after a few years of hard use. They added ROPS and FOPS protection systems because when you're working in a quarry and rocks start falling from blasting operations, you want more than a prayer keeping you alive in that cab. What really separates this excavator from the pack is something you can't see from the outside. The load-sensing hydraulics communicate with that Cummins engine constantly, adjusting flow and pressure for smooth, efficient operation that reduces jerky movements. When you're not actively digging, the auto-idle function drops engine RPM to 1,000 after 7 seconds, saving fuel that adds up to thousands of dollars over a year of operation on projects where margins are tight. Number 5. Zoomlion R2720 Tower Crane Reaching the Sky. On April 20th, 2023, Zoomlion announced the R2720, the world's largest tower crane. And the numbers are absolutely bonkers. This thing has a 720-ton lifting capacity, which means it can lift 500 cars to 130 floors without breaking a sweat or showing any sign of structural stress. The crane stands 400 meters tall, that's 1,312 feet, and features a rated torque of 20,000 ton-meters that handles loads most tower cranes can't even dream about. Most tower cranes top out around 300 tons of lifting capacity, making this more than double what the competition offers. The project went from design to production in just 8 months at Zoomlion's factory in Changde, which is 2 months faster than their previous record-breaking W12450 crane. What really sets this crane apart isn't just brute strength, it's the engineering behind it. Zoomlion's mobile balancing weight technology moves with hoisting torque, improving hoisting performance by over 60% compared to static counterweight systems. The design uses a high load-bearing, lightweight structure and a heavy-duty split structure that reduces the upper structure by more than 20% compared to traditional designs, making transportation, installation, and disassembly easier for construction crews. The crane integrates 158 innovative scientific research achievements and 305 patents, covering everything from the slewing mechanism to the climbing system. Chinese construction companies deployed this beast on the Ma'anshan Yangtze River Highway Railway Bridge, which will become the world's longest continuous cable-stayed deck at nearly 2 miles. When your crane needs to lift entire bridge sections weighing hundreds of tons to precise positions over a river, reliability isn't optional. It's the difference between success and disaster. Number 4. Lu Gong 9955F Excavator Delivering Power. The Lu Gong 9955F weighs 95 metric tons, making it a serious piece of equipment that quarries and mining operations deploy for heavy-duty digging. This excavator runs on a Perkins engine pumping out 608 horsepower, and the bucket alone can scoop 7.3 cubic yards of material in a single bite, enough to fill a dump truck without multiple passes. The digging depth hits 23 feet 7 inches with a reach of 41 feet, covering serious ground without constantly repositioning, which saves time and fuel on large excavation projects. But here's what really matters in today's regulatory environment. This machine meets EPA Tier 4 final and EU Stage 5 emission standards, making it cleaner than most American equipment while doing the same work and meeting increasingly strict environmental regulations. Lu Gong built the boom and arm structures with reinforced steel that holds up in the nastiest conditions, from tropical humidity to Arctic cold, without cracking or deforming. The hydraulic system works in sync with the engine to maximize fuel efficiency without losing power, using intelligent distribution that sends hydraulic pressure exactly where it's needed for each movement. Every operation is controlled by a system that distributes power based on real-time load conditions, cutting down cycle times and boosting productivity by reducing wasted motion. The engine itself is an 18.1-liter Perkins that generates 447 kilowatts with low engine speed but high torque output, delivering massive tear-out forces when ripping through hard material like fractured rock or compacted clay.
Number 3. XCMG XGC 8800 Crawler Crane, changing mobile lifting. 4 years after Tyson proved gantry cranes could defy expectations, XCMG decided to take things mobile with a crawler crane that made American manufacturers sweat. The XGC 8800 rolled off the assembly line on November 2, 2012, packing a lifting capacity between 3,600 and 4,000 tons. In 2013, this machine lifted 4,500 tons in a single operation, matching the weight of a fully loaded Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, and completed the job in just 15 minutes. The crane weighs 5,350 tons, with a total boom length of 144 meters. But the real story sits in the engineering details. America's largest crawler crane, the Manitowoc 3100, maxes out at 2,300 tons, meaning China more than doubled that capacity with the XGC 8800. This beast holds over 80 national patents, covering everything from hydraulic systems to stability mechanisms that keep it from tipping when lifting massive loads. Since entering service, the XGC 880 has lifted a cumulative total of 200,000 tons across major infrastructure projects, becoming the go-to machine for installing components on offshore wind farms or assembling massive bridges where precision matters as much as raw power. The crawler system distributes weight across a larger surface area, letting it work on softer ground where stationary cranes would sink.
Number 2. Zoomlion ZT82J reaching record heights. Zoomlion's ZT82J straight-arm aerial work platform reaches 82.3 meters, making it the world's tallest straight-arm aerial platform and marking Zoomlion's third world record in straight boom platforms after breaking records with 68-meter and 72-meter models. The machine features a platform amplitude of 34.1 meters, a maximum working load of 454 kilograms, and a climbing capacity of 35%. But those numbers don't tell the full story. The real innovation sits in the boom design, using Zoomlion's proprietary polygonal boom that reduces weight by over 10%, increases vertical stiffness by 25%, and improves torsional resistance by 20% compared to traditional round boom designs. This means the boom weighs less but stays stronger, minimizing deformation even at maximum extension when wind loads try to push it around. The ZT82J incorporates 21 advanced safety technologies plus a 13.1-meter jib that expands working range even further for accessing difficult positions on tall buildings. American manufacturers JLG and Genie, their tallest straight-arm platforms, max out around 50 meters, meaning Zoomlion added 32 meters to that ceiling, completely redefining what's possible for aerial work platforms. In August 2025, the ZT82J was delivered to the UK, setting a new benchmark for European markets where regulations demand the highest safety standards. Workers can now access heights that previously required expensive scaffolding or helicopter lifts, changing the economics of maintaining skyscrapers and bridges. Number 1. XCMG XZ960E Horizontal Directional Drilling Rig Working Underground. Cities hate tearing up streets because every time a utility company needs to install a new water main or fiber optic cable under a busy intersection, traffic gets rerouted, businesses lose customers, and residents complain about the noise and dust. That's why contractors increasingly turn to horizontal directional drilling, a method that installs pipes and cables underground without digging trenches. And the XCMG XZ960E does this job better than most American equipment at half the cost. This rig punches through soil and rock with 970 kilonewtons of thrust pull force, powered by a 221 kilowatt engine running at 2100 RPM. But the real magic happens in the hydraulic system. XCMG used closed-loop circuits with load sensing controls that automatically adjust pressure based on ground resistance. Meaning, when the drill bit hits harder geology, the system compensates instantly without waiting for the operator to react. The rotation system delivers 33,000 Newton-meters of torque at speeds up to 120 revolutions per minute, combined with variable push-pull speeds reaching 50 meters per minute, letting the rig adapt to changing soil conditions without stopping. Directional drilling works for crossing rivers, rail yards, and congested urban areas where open trenching would be impossible or prohibitively expensive. The XZ960E handles 102mm drill pipes and back reamers up to 1000mm in diameter, large enough for major water mains and gas transmission lines that keep cities functioning.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.